I mean, I made sure to eat before I made this video, but my God, I could go for a kebab right now. Welcome back, guys. We have a very special topic today, something that's near and dear to my heart, one of my favorite topics. Look around, you guessed it, food, and specifically Turkish foods. We're going to talk about some of the best, most delicious foods you have to try if you find yourself in Turkey. And who knows, if you're feeling adventurous, you can try to make some of these dishes at home. Some of them aren't very difficult to make at all. And I got a bonus for you at the end. If you stick around to the end, you'll be able to see 3 of the weirdest dishes that when I came to Turkey, I was, I don't know about that. I don't know if I'm going to be trying that. I'll take that instead. But believe it or not, some of them are actually very delicious. So stick around for the end. We've got some weird foods, some interesting but delicious type foods at the end. We're going to go through breakfast, appetizers, entrees, and then desserts before we get to our final weird stuff. So let's jump right in, guys. And first, we have something called Turkish Miniman. Turkish Miniman is a dish made from peppers, tomatoes, onions if you want, all sauteed, mixed together. Throw in some eggs, some cheese, some spices, mix it up, and dip in your bread. Turkish Miniman. So good. Generally, a breakfast dish can be eaten at any time of the day, and it's a little bit spicy. And if you like tomatoes, peppers, onions, eggs, you're going to love menemen. I believe it was menemen that changed my cousin's life when she came to Turkey last year. She said, menemen is changing my life. And I get it. I do. Okay, next on the list, Turkish breakfast, a full Turkish breakfast, which could include menemen, and it looks something like this. You have in the middle menemen. You have potatoes, peppers, tomatoes, cucumbers, all different types of cheeses, olives, dried fruit, honey, and cream. If you've never had, I think we would call it clotted cream. If you've never taken honey and mixed it with clotted cream, trust me, you're missing out. It is absolutely delicious. Nuts. What do we have up here? More peppers and tomatoes, more cheeses. You have bread. You have simit, which what is simit? We'll get to that. But it's a big, maybe you would call it a smorgasbord, maybe. You're just passing stuff around, you're reaching, you're grabbing. That's the only thing that's difficult or a little bit about Turkish breakfast is, oh, somebody's about to finish all of the jelly over there. I need to get it before it's all gone. So there's that dynamic of like, oh, I like having a lot of eggs, but there's only a couple eggs on the table. But that's probably just me overthinking things. Plus, you're reaching around, doing that whole thing. If you're with your in-laws for the first time, it can get a little bit awkward. But Turks are very friendly, very welcoming. They don't judge. Everybody's eating. Nobody's trying to be polite when they eat. It's good stuff. So I mentioned simit. This is Turkish simit. So Turkish bread, sesame bread rings. They sell these everywhere. Totally ubiquitous in Turkey. You'll be at a stoplight waiting to go. There'll be somebody standing there with these sesame bread rings, as they're called here. You can call them simit. on like a pole, on a post, stacked up. Boom. Grab one on your way. People liken them to bagels. I guess you could say that. They're thinner than bagels, as you can see, and just covered in sesame seeds, and dip it in butter, cream cheese. You put sweet stuff on it, like jellies, jams, Nutella, all that good stuff. It's good with sweet, it's good with savory. Samit, delicious. One of my dad's favorite things to eat when it comes to turkey. Gotta get him samit. There are samits that have sunflower seeds on them. If you see one of these, buy it. Buy it quickly and thank me later because they are awesome. So good. Moving on from breakfast, we've had our breakfast now. It's time for the evening. We're going to get a little bit of appetizers going. We're going to get some meze going, okay? Meze is basically like a Turkish appetizer, generally served cold. You've got fava bean puree, which I can't comment on. I've never had it. I don't know why, but I'm sure I would like it. I love beans. I love beans. Why wouldn't I like fava beans? Let's move on because I don't have much to say about it. Mercimek köfte, so it's red lentil patties. So red lentils mixed with spices, whatnot, formed into a patty, a little sausage-like deal. As you can see here, lettuce wrap, lemon. Awesome. Delicious. Fresh, tasty. I've had this before, but I don't I don't think we have something like this. So the translation is a little bit awkward. Samphire salad or pickleweed or glasswort. None of those sound appetizing, at least not to me, but it's good. This is great. Muhammara, roasted red pepper and walnut dip. Dip bread in there. Got the olive oil on top. Baba ganoush. You guys have heard of baba ganoush before. Pureed eggplant and tahini. Dip it, eat it. Olive oil on top. Excellent. Moving on. Haydari. This is good. And this brings me to a Turkish staple, which is yogurt. Yogurt is served with so many different dishes in so many different ways. I was not prepared for the yogurt in Turkey. No one told me about the yogurt. I had to get used to it. I'll be honest. Because if you're watching this from America, generally, you'll at least know what I'm talking about. Generally, we eat yogurt with sweet things, fruits, right? Like we almost always eat yogurt with fruit. I was not used to eating, in this case, garlic with yogurt with dill dipped in bread, but it's awesome. Really delicious. It's kind of like if you have like a strained yogurt, it's more similar to sour cream, you know? So think of like a sour cream dip. You like sour cream dip. Who doesn't? This is one you can try. Get some strained yogurt, okay? Greek yogurt, they would call it in the States. Sorry, people who are watching this from Turkey. Mix up some garlic, put some dill in it, and just dip bread into it. Thank me later again. Here's another yogurt dish, okay? Carrot yogurt dip. So you saute shredded carrots in olive oil. You then mix that with some strained yogurt, some real thick, delicious yogurt with garlic in it. And then there's a olive oil, a red chili olive oil like sauce that you put on top. You can put mint in that sauce. It's so good. Little bit of sweetness from the carrots. May not sound good. It didn't sound good to me at first, but it's so good. Trust me. Hummus. Have you guys heard of hummus? You've heard of hummus. Everybody's heard of hummus. It's actually, I've found, not that popular in Turkey, not as popular as you might think, but it's great. Ezme, spicy tomato salad. So this has tomato, onion, garlic, parsley, and spicy red peppers, all finely chopped. Again, dip the bread in it. Kusur, this is one of my favorite things in Turkey. My mother-in-law makes the best kusur. It's very, very small bulgur. You would think raw bulgur was couscous, probably. You might mistake it for couscous. It's mixed with Turkish red pepper paste called salça. It's mixed with olive oil, mixed with parsley, lettuce, spices. It's a little bit spicy. It's so good. This is one of those things, like, you're probably watching this from America or somewhere. If you've never had food like this, you're like, bulgur salad? It looks weird. What is that? It can't be that good. It's so good. I was you at one point, like, nah, I'll take a burger. But this stuff, it's so different, so fresh. Shakshuka, fantastic. If you like eggplants and vegetables, gotta eat your vegetables. So good. So good. I don't know what this is. Red caviar tarama. And it says that it's fish roe, olive oil, garlic, and lemon juice. Now that would be fine if I knew what fish roe were. What's fish roe? I don't know. It's on the list. Must be good. All right. Okay, so we've had our breakfast. We've had our appetizers, our meze. Let's move on to the main course, the Turkish kebab, namely the Adana kebab, which Adana is a region in the southern part of Turkey where some of the best Turkish foods come from. It's spicy, it's got peppers. My mouth is watering right now. And it's not that hard to make, honestly. That's the finished product. So she takes some good fatty, maybe like a ribeye type cut, if you got it like that. And then she cuts up peppers, garlic, very fine. And then you just kind of chop in the meat. The meat's in there now too. Chop it up, chop it up, chop it up, real fine like. You form it around these wooden skewers, right? And the way that you can cook it is at home, you can lay them on top of a cast iron, a very hot cast iron skillet, because the meat doesn't actually touch the heating surface. It just hovers above, right? So good. So simple, too. I mean, there's almost nothing to it. I mean, I made sure to eat before I made this video, but my God, I could go for a kebab right now. You got to make this. Look at it. You got lavash right there. Make a little wrap. Get some of these onions, parsley. Dude. Hold on, I need a minute, guys. Okay. Let's move on to dessert. If you guessed that we were going to be talking about baklava, you guessed right. Baklava, it's one of the best desserts in the world. Show me a better one. Come on. You've got these really thin strips of phyllo dough. You brush them with butter. You throw in this case, some pistachios, chopped pistachios. You can do walnuts, something like 40 layers. 40 layers. Brush with butter, sandwiched between our pistachios. You've got this syrup. right? Sugar, water, lemon, pour that over top. I'm sure most of you have had baklava before. You can get it in a lot of Greek restaurants in the States, right? But for what it's worth and from what I've seen, it's a Turkish dish. So, whatever that is worth to you. I just have to say that or else I'm going to get some angry comments from my friends in Turkey. My, it's so good. And really, this video makes it seem not that difficult to make, right? Like maybe time consuming, but it doesn't seem like the technique is anything super complicated. Bon appetit. Okay, since you stuck around to the end, as promised, I've got our 3 weirdest Turkish foods. The first one is called kokoreç. Now, kokoreç, I was given and I wasn't told what it was, and it was delicious. It looked like this. It was in between bread. It had a bunch of spices, and then my wife said, "Hey, do you know what that was that you ate?" And I said, "Do I want to know what that was? What I ate?" And as it turns out, it's intestines, sheep intestines wrapped around other stuff and then cooked on a spit, right? Kind of rotisserie style. Gets charred and it's fatty. And then they cut it up, put it in a sandwich. It's really delicious, honestly, guys. It tastes so much better than it sounds. The next one, I'll be honest, I've never tried. I have no desire to try. I would try it just to say that I tried it. And it's something called işkembe çorbası, which is işkembe soup. It's tripe, which is the lining of a sheep's stomach. I don't know if I need to say anything more. It's supposed to be a good hangover cure. I don't know what to say. I don't want to be rude. I don't want to be disrespectful. I'm going to move on. This is called çiğ köfte. Çiğ köfte. Çiğ köfte literally in Turkish means raw köfte or raw meatballs. And yeah, you guessed it. It's made from raw meat. Now, that's how the original çiğ köfte, I could say, was made, because these days you don't really find real çiğ köfte, real raw meat balls in Turkey. That's been taken out of the equation because I guess health and safety concerns. Kind of makes sense. This one, it's made from bulgur. So that's like a wheat, right? Bulgur is a wheat. And they mix it with salcha, the Turkish pepper paste, spices, and they apparently this is a really labor intensive thing to make. They have to really work the bulgur, I guess, because when you eat it, you don't taste any grainy like pieces. It's very smooth and kind of creamy, and you wrap it in lettuce. You put lemon on top, maybe some pomegranate sour, which you can see in this picture right here down the hatch. It's so good. This is one of those things that I had to get used to. When I first ate it, I did not like it. I'll be honest. I did not like it at all. The flavor was very, very strong, and I just didn't know what the heck I was eating. What is this? But now I literally crave çiğ köfte sometimes. Like, I don't eat it often, but when I do, I really enjoy it. It's spicy. This is one of those things that I don't know if you're going to be able to find it in the States. So check out the other ones. Come to Turkey. I'd be happy to get you some çiğ köfte if you come here. And that's it, guys. That concludes our tour of some of the most delicious, some of the best Turkish foods. We've had breakfast. We've had our meze, our appetizers. We've had our dinner. We've had our dessert. We talked about our weird foods. We didn't mention any of the foods that you see on the screen here. I mean, dolma right there, chicken, maybe beef. These are maybe kebabs, skewers. Like, Turkish cuisine is so diverse, so delicious. if you ever have the good fortune of coming to Turkey, you got to try all of the dishes that I mentioned in this video. So if you like this video, if you found it interesting, entertaining, and you want to get more content like this, you like my video, you subscribe to my channel, that really goes a long way into helping me create more videos just like this in the future. So thanks for sticking around, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.